Good day, Grayton students. Welcome to week 7. And this week, you need to do 4 tasks. But don't worry, because I will guide you as you accomplish each task. Are you ready? Let us begin. Week 7 has 4 tasks and I will explain to you the hows of each task. Plus, I will give you additional information relevant to our topic. Task 1 is very simple. You just have to read the poem entitled If We Must Die by Claude McKay, but you have to keep in mind that you must read with comprehension in order to accomplish the succeeding tasks that await you. So, I provided you the meaning of some unfamiliar words that you will encounter as you read the poem. Next, learning task 2. After reading the poem, you have to process what you have read by answering the given questions. Let us start with question number 1. What was the author's purpose for writing the poem? Basically, purpose means the reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. In literature, author's purpose refers to the author's reason for or intent in writing. An author's purpose may be to amuse the reader, to persuade the reader, to inform the reader, or to satirize a condition. In order to identify the purpose of the author, you have to decipher the meaning of the poem, and again, these words may be useful for you. Number 2. Why did the author use apostrophe in his poem? First, what is apostrophe? It is a figure of speech like simile, metaphor, personification, and a lot more. It is an address to a dead or absent person, or personification as if he or she were present. This is often used to add dramatic effect to the poem. In using it, the speaker is imagined or seen as alone while thinking his thoughts out loud. Some examples of apostrophe include O Holy Night, Africa, my Africa, and O Captain, my Captain. So now, after reading the poem, what do you think is the reason why Mackay used apostrophe? Number 3. To whom did the author direct the message of the poem? Here, you just have to identify the person or group of people to whom he dedicated his poem or simply his target audience or listeners. Number 4. Describe the situation of the persona in the poem. Persona is a dramatic character distinguished from the poet, who is the speaker of a poem. With at least 2 sentences, you just have to describe the current situation, particularly the struggles of the speaker in the poem. Next, task 3. Write a critique of the poem If We Must Die, recognizing the power struggles of characters and their gender relationships. Be guided by the sentence prompts below. These are the sentence prompts that you have to use in doing the task. You just have to supply the necessary details here, but be sure to be objective, meaning you have to base your judgments or answers on facts. In short, you should have proofs. Finally, task 4. Review your critique from the previous activity. Go back to the details and justify your points by citing the lines from the poem. Complete the table that follows. In the statements from the critique, you just have to put the statements that you had earlier. Then, in the details from the text, you have to put the lines from the poem where you got the idea about your answer in column 1. In column 3, you just have to put the number where you found that line. For you to visualize the tasks even more, I have here samples for task 3 and task 4. Suppose that the poem that we're going to critique is the poem The Road Not Taken, which we had in the previous lead. The prompts are those in bold letters. Then, I just completed them by analyzing the poem. That is what you're going to do as well, but of course, the poem that you will critique is the poem If We Must Die, and you will use the Marxist and feminist approaches as much as possible. Then, similar with my explanation earlier, you will select a statement from Task 3 output and put it in column 1. Then, in column 2, write your proof by getting lines from the poem, and in column 3, write the line number where you saw that line, and you're done. Let us look again on week 7 task. Task 1, reading of the poem If We Must Die. Task 2, reading with comprehension, and you have to answer the 4 questions. Task 3, writing a critique using the given prompts. And Task 4, reviewing the critique or your output on Task 3. And we're done. I hope you learned something today. See you next time!